Let's jump right into this explainer, breaking down a recent analysis by geopolitical strategist Peter Zeihan. He's outlining a sudden, severe fracture in the very foundation of American military reach. We usually measure global power in raw numbers, right? Ships, aircraft, troops. But Zeihan argues there's actually this invisible string holding it all together, and right now it's under immense strain. To really grasp the gravity of this situation, we have to start with a pretty stark geographic reality. How exactly does a military fight a war on the total opposite side of the planet? The United States is obviously located in the Western Hemisphere, but almost all of its major friction points happen over in the Eastern Hemisphere. That sheer distance creates an enormous, unavoidable physical hurdle.
Section 1. The logistics of global power.
Think about it. Even with a fully functioning blue water navy, you can't just sail a ship into some random location and expect to prosecute a conflict. It just doesn't work that way. Instead, you absolutely need a continuous support chain: fuel, people, medical supplies, weapons. Relying on regional allies to shoulder these exact logistical steps makes operations vastly cheaper, far more durable, and infinitely more likely to succeed. When a partner nation opens up their bases or ports, that massive supply line shrinks drastically. It is literally the lifeblood of global reach.
Section 2. A break in protocol.
Now, this fundamental rule of logistics has recently been disrupted in a way we haven't really seen before. Zeihan points out that in virtually every conflict since the nation's formation, the U.S. has operated hand in glove with its allies. But during recent operations involving Iran, that normal logistical chain was completely ignored. For the first time, there was a total lack of consultation, leaving even steadfast partners like the United Kingdom entirely in the dark. And the fallout from that really compounded. When the security and shipping situation inevitably became unstable a month into these operations, Zeihan highlights that the Trump administration just skipped traditional diplomatic channels entirely. Instead of using private, back-channel diplomacy, they resorted to public appeals, publicly yelling at allies for not doing more and openly considering withdrawing from NATO because those allies were deemed, quote, useless.
Section 3. The cultural tipping point. Now, we are impartially reporting the source's observation here, but Zeihan argues this logistical freeze isn't just about military protocol. There's a deeply cultural problem causing this massive rift. He notes that former President Trump's social media graphics and statements severely damaged his standing internationally, specifically posts claiming alignment with Jesus, alongside egregious statements targeting the Pope. While domestic audiences might process that one way, abroad, those statements resonated as deeply, deeply offensive. This creates what is known as a true diplomatic rupture. Take Italy, for example. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni was previously a lockstep right-wing ally of Donald Trump, sharing significant political alignment. But attacking the Pope and co-opting religious imagery completely changed the dynamic in Italy. The shared political goals were entirely eclipsed by these fundamental cultural offenses.
Section 4. Europe's cold shoulder. This wasn't just an isolated diplomatic spat. It fundamentally altered military cooperation on the ground, creating a very real domino effect. Within just a couple of weeks, Italy went from an enthusiastic partner to basically giving a profound cold shoulder. They went dead silent on Iran, and more importantly, stopped shipping weapons and providing logistical support to Israel. From a functional standpoint, the alliance there is effectively over.
And this brilliantly illustrates the cinematic cascade of the crisis. It's not just Italy withdrawing for moral and cultural reasons. Spain, France, and the UK have all withdrawn their status too, because they were unconsulted on operations, alienated by the rhetoric, and facing their own economic impacts. This massive bloc of European powers is now actively denying their bases and equipment to American logistics. The resulting bottleneck is frankly staggering. According to Zeihan's analysis, with Italy, Spain, France, and the UK all pulling back, that leaves exactly just one major ally as the sole remaining conduit for the United States to project real power into the Middle East. And that is Germany. One ally left holding the entire logistical burden.
Section 5. Threats to global reach. This brings us to the physical, honestly terrifying reality of a military whose logistical string has just been abruptly cut. Now, it is absolutely true that the massive crown jewels of the American Navy, the supercarriers, are nuclear-powered. They are total marvels of engineering that do not need to stop to refuel on their own. They can basically sail indefinitely. But there is a huge critical vulnerability here. A carrier never ever travels alone. The protective carrier rings, the destroyers, the cruisers, the supply ships, they absolutely rely on conventional fuel. They need continuous replenishment to survive and operate in the Eastern Hemisphere. Without allied ports to refuel those support ships, the nuclear carrier is basically stranded out there without its shield.
Because the moral fabric of the alliance has been shattered, Zihan concludes that the U.S. has experienced a total logistical collapse in just 2 weeks. It's a sudden, jarring inability to reliably function outside of home waters. This isn't just some theoretical warning. It's a current unfolding crisis that he argues will haunt global strategic military thinking for decades to come. So as we wrap up this explainer, we're left with a pretty chilling final thought to consider. We've seen how absolutely vital bases, fuel, and shared trust are to maintaining a global presence. If projecting global power fundamentally requires allies, what becomes of a superpower when it suddenly finds itself standing completely alone? Thanks so much for joining me to explore this complex geopolitical web, and as always, keep asking the big questions.